up, guys? This is Mike from Alternative.com. I have Lou from Status Green right here, and Chef Trish from Mixx restaurant here in Manasquan. And this is actually our first edition of In the Mix, where we're going to take a rock star and team up with a chef, and she's going to teach him how to do some cooking. So, you know how sometimes rock stars have the tendency not to eat very well.
We don't have a lot of money either.
Then I planned the whole wrong menu.
So, Trish is going to teach Lou, you're going to teach him how to make a risotto, right?
Yep.
And a salad as well?
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to step back and I'm going to let Trish teach Lou how to make this stuff, and enjoy.
Okay. We're going to do, my first thought was, as you said, not a lot of money, not a whole lot of, I mean, I guess you have a little time during the day once you get up around noon or so. But also not a ton of resources, whether you're in a hotel room or on a tour bus or in a van, and probably not a ton of skills for cooking. So I thought, also you probably get relegated to eating a lot of on-the-go, fast food, not good. So my whole thought was tasty, inexpensive, healthy food, and stuff that might seem intimidating, but when somebody shows you how to do it, it's really easy. Just like when you don't know how to do something on a computer, you're thinking, oh my god, I can't possibly do this, and someone shows you one new mouse click, and I'm like, that just changed my whole world. So risotto is something that you can make in a way that will please everyone in the band, because you can make it vegetarian, you can add meat to it, you can add a protein to it, and all of the basic ingredients are somewhat inexpensive. You can kind of get it all done in one pot, or 2 pots is better.
Alright.
So risotto is actually not the rice. Risotto is a dish made from a particular kind of rice. You make it from...
Is it like a pasta based or is it a rice based?
It is a rice.
Okay.
It is a rice, but the rice itself is arborio rice or carnaroli rice. It's a short grain, really hard rice, and so it cooks differently than any regular long grain rice.
Minute rice. I'm used to like Uncle Ben's minute rice.
Yeah, this is something that you need a little bit of time for, and you kind of have to give it a little bit of love, but it's definitely well worth it. So the dish itself is called risotto. The rice is arborio rice or carnaroli rice. The difference with this rice is that you want to cook it slowly. Most rices you add all of the liquid right in the beginning, and you still cook it slowly, but it all goes in there, usually about 2 to 1. 2 parts liquid and 1 part rice. This one is more liquid, and you cook it slow, you add the rice a little bit at a time. So generally speaking, you start with some onion for any risotto that you're going to make. You want to add some flavor. A little bit of butter in the pan.
How much butter would you say that is?
That's about 2 tablespoons of butter.
Okay.
We're going to make a portion for about 4 people today. So we're
butter.
doing, I don't know how many people are in your band, but 4 to 6 people.
Typical band, I'd say 4 average, right?
So we're going to do about a half a cup of onion. And the other good thing with this is doesn't have to be 100% precise and exact. As long as you have the right amount of liquid to your rice, everything else is however you
your own,
Yeah. So you want to cook your onions until they become a little translucent. You don't really want to brown them. You just want to cook them until they get a little bit clear. Okay. We have 2 cups of rice, and we have 6 cups of liquid that we got hot already. I'm using chicken stock because I think it adds the most flavor. You can use water. You can use vegetable stock, beef stock, depending on who you're feeding and what you're going to put in. So then you want to see I have more butter than is necessary for just the onions, but that's because you want to have some butter to coat the rice as well. Then we're going to add the rice in, stir that around a bit, and get it all coated with the butter as well.
I'm already getting so hungry.
Well, you guys can all have a nice meal at the end of it. Nice. Okay. And again, you don't want to color it, you just want to get it all coated, keep it nice and
Perfect hangover dish.
Exactly. I added a little bit of white wine. I wanted to make sure that didn't brown, and to add some flavor. Okay, and then we're going to cook that out. And while we're letting that cook down just a little bit, just wanted to talk about some of the ingredients that you can put in here. So depending again on your bandmates and who wants what that night, you could add chicken to this, you could add fish to this, definitely usually all kinds of vegetables, and it also depends on the time of the year. I have some mushrooms because it's fall and the mushrooms are coming in really nice. I'm going to go back here, you see this is drying out?
Jersey mushrooms.
See that? So now I'm going to start adding my stock. Be careful because I left my ladle sitting in there. A little warm. And you're going to add enough stock to cover the rice. We're going to turn it down a little bit at this point. You don't want to cook risotto fast. If it's one thing that you just cannot do, you can't rush risotto.
Does it get mushy?
It'll be hard and mushy. The inside
nice.
won't be cooked and the outside will. But you do want to, as opposed to a regular long grain rice pilaf that you're making, where you don't want to upset all the starches. You want to keep the grains nice and flaky and fluffy. With this rice, you're trying to make a nice creamy, warming dish, so you are going to stir it. You don't have to stir it constantly, but you are going to keep, getting in there, stirring a little bit as it cooks. So as you put enough liquid to cover, you're going to let it cook down a bit, and then you're going to add more. I'm going to add a little more right now. But then when most of that cooks out, we're going to add more. You're going to do this about 2 or 3 times, probably 3 times at least. And what I like to do is add most of my ingredients already cooked to the end. So I just brought you some things to show you. Maybe next time you're in town, we can go to the grocery store together. Because that's the other part of it, is a lot of people don't know how to shop. You get to the store and you're like, there's too much stuff, and you buy a can of something. So you can add whatever you want. These are shiitake mushrooms, these are oyster mushrooms, and these are creminis, basically a little brown mushroom that, if you let it grow, would turn into a portobello mushroom. So what I did was I sauteed them all up already, so we'll wind up adding those a little later. Baby spinach, really nice this time of year. Also, you could add Swiss chard, you could add radicchio, all kinds of leafy greens, anything like that would be great. I'm going to add a little thyme at the end there. Now I have a couple other ingredients and all of these you could get at the A&P. I mean, really, they're pretty basic ingredients, unless you're really at a grocery store that's kind of lacking, but most of the grocery stores now, and certainly if you find yourself in town and you can Google and find a Whole Foods, the choices are limited. Now I took a whole chicken. Most of the grocery stores nowadays have those whole roasted chickens, which are great because you can have a leg and maybe a little breast for lunch. You can throw some in a chicken salad. It's great to pick it off the bone, whatever's left over. You can make chicken salad out of that. You can throw it in some stock and have a soup. I took it all off, I picked it and shredded it apart, and we're going to put that in there so you have some protein. And it's healthy protein. I took all the skin off.
It's a very well-rounded dish.
Yeah, taking care of it. Now you can also, the other thing about risotto is it's generally finished with some butter and cheese.
Okay.
Any kind of cheese you want, but usually some Parm. Goat cheese is nice in there. Something that's a little creamy and it's going to melt. I have a little bit of mascarpone cheese here. So that's like an Italian cream cheese. It's a little softer and creamier than a regular cream cheese, and it's a little sweeter. Those kind of things that are going to add fat to the dish, you want to add them at the very end. If you boil it, it'll like break and grease.
Okay.
So a lot of the finishing things come at the end.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. And that's up at the end of it.
Yeah. Like any cheese, once you start boiling it, it'll break down.
Okay.
It'll break out. So you can see most of that liquid is cooked out now. See there? Clear? We're going to add some more. This is, again, also if you just have 15-20 minutes in the morning before you go out to do a PR thing or whatever, you can get this stuff ready, and then when you come back later, it takes about 25 minutes or so to cook risotto start to finish. But if you have everything ready, it's a quick meal. Finish it up, serve it, and while it's cooking, you do have to pay attention to it, but I think we have enough time to put together a nice healthy salad for you.
Cool. Let's do it. Salad bar.
Salad bar.